TV presents another educational episode of How to Protect Yourself from the Living Dead. Here's your host, Matt Raybin.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Protect Yourself from the Living Dead, the #1 zombie educational program on the 8 to 9 p.m. program block on ZTV. Now, as you know, last week we talked about how to protect yourself from zombified animals. Remember, just because that little kitty cat looks cute, you might want to pet it, it could be a zombie, and there's nothing that ruins your day worse than getting your face eaten off by a zombie kitten. Now, today's episode is going to be an exciting one. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make your own homemade zombie weapons and also how to put together your own zombie survival kit. Now, as you know, in today's modern world, the likelihood of a zombie virus or anything increasing is a lot likelier than it's been before. Ebola, anyone? So I'm going to teach you some skills you might need to survive. Now, as you can see on the table, I have a water bottle, some electric tape, a hanger, paper, and other common household items. These might not be the most effective weapons in the world, but whenever your supplies and food are limited, anything you can put together in a pinch is going to come in very handy. So, the first weapon I'm going to show you guys how to make is a zombie slingshot. Now, how are you going to make this? You can take any common water bottle, make sure it's empty. You don't need the lids. They're all ready. We can get rid of that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a knife, and remember, sharp objects, always be careful. And we're going to come in here, and if I could get the knife to cut that, we are going to cut the top of this off. Just about like so. And that should be about what you have. Now, what we're going to do next, so we're going to take a typical balloon. It doesn't have to be, any kind in particular. Take your balloon and cut it. Let's take a look. Let's see right about here. Cut that. Okay, now, because rubber balloons tend to stick a little bit, make sure you kind of stretch it out just a little bit to make sure you don't have any trouble with it. What you're going to do is you're going to work the top of this balloon through here, and you're going to wrap it around the top like so. Now, you want to make sure you get at least a little ways down, so it should look about like that. We're going to take a rubber band, going to wrap it around, and this is just going to make sure you can secure the balloon, because whenever you're pulling it back, like say you have a zombie coming after you, you don't want to be aiming this thing and then have the balloon pop out on you, and then suddenly, zombie comes after you and you have no defense. That's not good. Now, because we are in a classroom right now, I can't actually test these because we don't need projectiles flying around equipment. But what you would do is you would hold it like this, put the object inside the balloon, pull back, and fire about like that. If you get it just right, it's very, very effective, and it should be enough to distract the zombie from you. Now, that's the slingshot. The second is going to be a homemade bow and arrow, so you can be kind of like your own Katniss Everdeen or Blink, just kind of depending. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to take 2 sheets of paper. It doesn't have to be any particular kind. We're going to take our scissors. We're going to cut 2 strips out like this. I have the hardest time cutting things in a straight line. Doesn't have to be perfect. Take a pencil and wrap it up like so. This is going to be where your projectile is going to go. Now, I'm going to take some electric tape, and we're going to tape this together. Like so. Now, if this would open for me. And again, you can use any objects. It can be construction paper, anything like that, just depending on what you have handy. And after the break, I'm going to show you how to finish. We'll be right back.
Are you a new parent and can't find a way to make your baby stop crying? All new parents struggle with this. You need the baby translator. Put it on your baby's head, and real human language will be heard.
Oh, that's much better. Thanks, Daddy. I love you.
Thanks, baby translator.
Get your baby translator today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, whenever we left, we were putting together our bow and arrow. Now, whenever you're done cutting this, it should look about like this. Have a nice little tube there. What you're going to do is you're going to secure it to the side of your hanger, and we're going to tape it together about like so. Next, take one rubber band, and pop it on the hooks like so. That way you can get a nice solid pull action like that. I know, this is exciting stuff. I love it. Okay, and we're going to take a piece of tape and wrap it around the rubber band about where your projectile would be. About like this. Wrap that. All right, and it would be about like this. So if you put it on the inside, you could pull it back like this and actually have your own projectile to fire. So those are your two zombie weapons. You've got your slingshot and your bow and arrow. Again, they may not be the most effective weapons in the world, but you can use them with household items, anything you find laying around. In the apocalypse, it is going to be limited, and if you're crafty like MacGyver, you can come up with all sorts of great stuff. Now, second thing we're going to talk about today, how to make your own zombie survival kit. And the first item, many of you might be a bit confused by this, but one thing you can use to distract zombies, Spam! Now, why Spam, you might ask? Spam has a similar consistency to human brains, so zombies won't know the difference. And that broke off, so we're not actually going to open it. But what's cool is, as we all know, Spam stinks and it smells terrible. It actually probably smells about like a brain that's just been pulled out of the skull. If you roll it up into a ball, throw it, or just take, open a can and toss it at the zombies, they will go crazy. And this sounds funny, but I'm serious. This could actually really end up helping you. So if you happen to have any cans of Spam laying around, no one's going to eat it anyways. Why not use it to save your life? Also, you always want to make sure you have a change of clothes just in case you're being chased down. You need to change. You don't want to wear the same thing for 2-3 weeks, because come on, that's just not right. I know it's an apocalypse, but still, definitely make sure you bring a change of clothes with you. Also, make sure you have a roll of paper towels and toilet paper with you, because come on, you never know when you're going to need them. Also, the toilet paper, believe it or not, and this can be used in any outdoor situation too, if you're going somewhere, say you're in the woods and you're kind of lost, you can actually tie a piece of toilet paper around trees to help keep track of where you are. So say you're going along one way and you want to check out something. Tie a piece of toilet paper around every other branch or something that you see. It can actually help make sure you get back to where you wanted to be. So you can use both of these for that same purpose if you'd like. Also, very handy thing to do is have a headband or bandana to keep the sweat off of you, because if you happen to be chased by a horde of zombies, or say, it's the middle of the summer, you want to see where you're going, you don't want to have sweat pouring in your eyes, you can't see where you're going, because that's probably the number one thing that could get you killed is you're blinded, you trip and fall on yourself, and they are all over you like moths on a flame. Trust me, you don't want that to happen. Also, earplugs come in handy. Say you found somewhere safe and you need to rest for the night. If you're anything like me, you don't want to sit there and listen to moaning zombies all night long, because first off, that would freak me out. I couldn't stand it. Just for a little peace of mind, any kind of earplugs or anything. But if you're out in the open, make sure you take them out, obviously, so you can hear them coming. You don't want to have that happen to you. And of course, make sure to have plenty of rations with you. Have a backpack, lots of Cliff Bars, granola bars, plenty of water. Anything like that could definitely keep you alive. So that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope this has been really educational for you guys. You can use any of these tips in any situation. Next week, we're going to have our co-star Daryl Dixon show you the best hunting techniques. Until then, we'll see you next week.